Good evening and welcome to the Putnam County School District Employee of the Year Recognition Ceremony. It is a privilege to recognize each and every employee who has been nominated by their peers as the Teacher and School-Related Employee of the Year. Tonight, we want to recognize and honor our outstanding classroom teachers who have demonstrated a superior capacity to inspire a love of learning in students of all backgrounds and abilities. Will all of our nominees for Teacher of the Year please stand for a round of applause? Thank you. You may be seated. We are also here to recognize and honor our most outstanding school-related employees of the year for their contributions to their school, department, and community. We could not do our jobs without you. Will all of our nominees for School-Related Employee of the Year please stand for a round of applause? Thank you. Each of you, in whatever position you hold, extends yourself beyond your basic required duties by displaying initiative and creativity. You give of yourselves to our students, school, and district. You enhance student learning and highest achievement through either teaching or supporting literacy-based activities. You have earned the respect and admiration of your fellow colleagues. You demonstrate exceptional skill and dedication to the job of educating our students. You are Teachers of the Year or School-Related Employees of the Year, chosen because you have amplified these qualities and others have noticed. I commend your efforts. Congratulations. Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you would stand, please, I'm going to ask if Mr. Larry Litzel would come forward and bless the dinner.
Let's bow and pray together. Father, we are thankful for the privilege to be here. We're thankful for a great nation and the freedom and liberty that we've grown up with. We're thankful for these nominees. Every one of them are very, very special. And Lord, we pray that you would bless the food tonight and bless everything that goes on, that it might honor you. And we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
At this time, we would like to thank our sponsors, who without their support, this recognition could not take place. Georgia Pacific Corporation, Palaca Operations, Mr. Kevin Curry, and Mr. Terry Hadaway. Bates and Hewitt Insurance, Mr. Benji Bates, Mr. Dale Hewitt and Company. Thank you. Your generosity and support of these outstanding employees of the Putnam County School District is greatly appreciated. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Kevin Curry, Vice President of Georgia Pacific Operations. He'd like to say a few words.
And it is a few words, I guess, because we're between you and a good meal. So, Georgia Pacific is always honored to participate in this. Our focus on education, we've elevated it probably tenfold since becoming part of Coke. And so this evening to celebrate with you is just, it's an honor for us. And I know when I got in the room, I think I lowered the IQ. So, you know, one of the things that we are focused on is we have 10 guiding principles. And those 10 guiding principles are how we want to work and how we, basically, it's an expectation for every employee. And so one of our guiding principles is knowledge. I want to read it. So principle 6, it's knowledge. It's seek and find the best knowledge and proactively share knowledge while embracing a challenge process. Develop measures that lead to profitable action. You might say, why profitable action? Where does that fit in knowledge? Well, everything you do every day to expand the knowledge of students will result in something in the future which will be profitable knowledge. And that's something that we really focus on. And we talk about challenge. The challenge doesn't mean, put your dukes up. Challenge is a method for us to get the best out of what the outcome could be. So at our mill, we really focus on how do we effectively challenge. And, for myself, in the position I'm in, I welcome people to come tell me how we can do things differently. And I know you probably do as teachers and also as workers. Your creativity has to be unbelievable. The other guiding principles we really focus on is our principle 4, which is principled entrepreneurship. And without principled entrepreneurs, we wouldn't be successful. And I know as teachers, that's something you do every day. So with that, I just want to thank you for what you do for this community. And I've been a part of this community for almost 8 years now. And I've been with Georgia-Pacific for 40. So it's been an honor. And for me to get a chance to lead this mill, it's unbelievable. It's been a dream of mine since 1979. I can tell you the year. So thank you.
At this time, we would like to continue with our program. I would like to introduce our special guests who have joined us this evening. Ms. Phyllis Criswell, Superintendent of Schools. Ms. Helen Muir. Ms. Helen Muir, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. Our school board members, Nikki Cummings, District 1. David Buckles, District 3. Jane Crawford, District 5. Our directors, please stand and I will call your names. Jim Roach, Associate Superintendent, Support Services. Rhonda Odom, Chief Financial Officer. Nikki Hawthorne, Food Service. Renee Huff, Career and Technical Education. Charles Jenkins, Information Services. Libby Weaver, Exceptional Student Education. Sandy Scranton, Purchasing. Deborah Buckles, Federal Programs. Travis Weaver, Director of School Safety and Student Services. Laura France, Elementary Education. John Chastain, Maintenance. And Rodney Simons, Transportation. At this time, if I could have all principals and assistant principals please stand. We thank you for your leadership and commitment to our employees, students, and our community. We truly appreciate your efforts. At this time, I'd like to also introduce Mr. Matt Berger, the 2015 Putnam County Teacher of the Year from Browning Pierce Elementary. At this time, please join me in welcoming our Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Phyllis Criswell.
Good evening. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here this evening and have the opportunity to speak to such a distinguished group of educators and school-related employees. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude tonight for the loving and caring way that you do your job, the passion that you put into it, and what you do for our students every day. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But before I do, I have several things I need to say. First of all, our board chairperson, Kathy Jorgensen, is ill this evening, and she wanted to make sure that I mentioned that she sends her regrets and also her congratulations to all of you tonight. And before I address you, let me also take a minute to say thank you to our sponsors, Georgia-Pacific and Terry and Kevin. I can't thank you enough. This community owes you a great debt of gratitude You are so active, not only with the things you do for our school system, but also for the entire community. I don't know what we'd do without you, so thank you very much. And also this evening, this wonderful dinner that you're enjoying from Musselwhite's. Great shrimp, wow. And the desserts actually came from Sweet Grace Anna's. I think I said that correctly. And all of that was provided for us tonight by Bates and Hewitt Insurance. And Ben Bates and his lovely wife Kathy are with us tonight, and Jenny Robbins representing Bates and Hewitt. And we thank them so much. This dinner was wonderful. It's only the second time that we've had this, and they've sponsored it both times, and we really appreciate that. We also have some other business sponsors that have helped us this evening: Capital City Bank, Knights of Columbus, St. Monica's Catholic Church, and of course Musselwhite's with the food. Let me begin by congratulating each of you for being selected as Teacher or Employee of the Year at your school or your department. Your presence here tells us that your colleagues and your administrators see you as the best of the best in our school district. Whether you are an exemplary teacher or an outstanding school-related employee, you touch the lives of our children every day. You represent every school and every department in our school district. Every job performed by our over 1,500 employees is important and ultimately affects the lives and the future of our children and our community. Don't ever think that you're not making a difference. Don't ever stop doing what you're doing so well. I grew up here in Putnam County. This is my 30th year with Putnam County Schools, and I went through Putnam County Schools and graduated. And if I had time tonight, I could tell you the names of most of my school custodians, the cafeteria ladies, the bus driver that I remember, the secretaries that we had at school, the counselors that I had, the teachers, assistant principals, and even the superintendents I remember. And I remember them because of the way they treated me, the way they talked to me, the way they encouraged me, the way they cared for me. I remember their names and their faces to this day. And so you're affecting today's students the same way. So never forget that and never take it for granted. Everything you say to a child, the way you treat them, affects them and will stay with them much longer than you realize. So even though we're honoring you tonight, this is not the culmination of your career. We want you to keep doing what you've been doing, please. I know how hard you work. I know the many sacrifices that you make, both personally and financially, to work in this, the noblest of professions, and it truly is. So we recognize and honor you tonight for your lasting contributions to education and ultimately to the lives of our students and our community. Ben Franklin once said, "Speak little, do much." So tonight I'm going to speak little, and I'm just going to close by saying congratulations to you all, and I want you to enjoy this evening and revel in it. It's all about you tonight. Thank you. And I get the great pleasure of introducing a young man who I remember when he was born. That's how old I am. Matt Burgin, our 2015 Teacher of the Year. Would you come up and give us some words of wisdom?
Thank you so much. They told me I had 20 minutes, so get comfortable, and no, I'm just kidding. I did write a speech. Fourscore, wrong one. Sorry. I had to. No, I did write a speech so that it would be under 20 minutes, and I didn't get up here and ramble on. First off, I want to thank Superintendent Criswell for allowing me this opportunity, as well as all of the district staff that make a wonderful night such as this possible. Thank you for the school board members and their attendance tonight, just showing their appreciation for the jobs we do every day. It is my absolute honor to be standing amongst you, standing with you, and representing this great county. My name is Matthew Wayne Burgin, and I am a teacher of students, adults, and any captive audience I can find. And tonight, you are my captive audience. Before writing this speech, I sat and debated which story I wanted to bore you with: my professional story, my family story, or my educational story. After a fair amount of reflection and making my wife and coworkers' ears bleed with random thoughts, I realized that my education in Putnam County was the most poignant and relevant. Before I get into that story, a little background. I've been teaching in the Putnam County School District for 14 years. In that time, I've seen my elementary students grow, progress, and end up being positive members of our community. There is no greater pleasure to a teacher than reuniting with, speaking to, and interacting with one of your former students. Sometimes I think I'm only 35. How can they already be making me feel old? As an elementary teacher, one of my biggest hopes is that future teachers will continue to see and recognize the wonderful humans that I spent a school year of my life with. This, my friends, is what they call a segue into my educational story. I began kindergarten in Miss Smith's class on my 5th birthday, August 20th, 1984, at Mosley Elementary School, Campus 1. Whether that makes me young or old is up to you. I loved elementary school at Mosley. I loved the teachers, and the only issue I ever had was in 1st grade in Miss Wilkes' class, I didn't want to leave my mama. So that was a little tough. But at Mosley Elementary, I got my first real teaching job. Mosley Elementary School, Campus 2. I was the Golden Chorus boys captain. Yeah. And I took attendance every Friday afternoon, diligently. I moved on to Beasley Middle School, where I had a great time, did well, made friends, and connected with many of my teachers. I ended my time at Beasley as one of the top 50 8th graders and the American Legion top 8th grader for Beasley. I still have my little medal. All right, that's the apex of my story. Yeah. From the outside, you might say I was poised for success. Skip ahead 4 years to my senior year in high school and you'll find a different story. I entered high school in honors classes and ended my time there attending graduation practice, not knowing if I would walk because of my grade in an elective course. 100,000% true. How does this happen to a child with so much promise? How did this happen? I asked myself. A million different ways and for a million different reasons. It happens to me. It happens to children every day. We must look past those reasons and see the child that has that potential. I'm here in front of you tonight because there were certain teachers that saw the inner 5th grader, the inner 8th grader in me. The one with potential, not the one slowly slipping beyond the point of no return. This is my real story. This is my motivation. This is my Charlie Wilson's war. We as employees of this educational system are all equal and have the same power and responsibility to connect with our students and build the men and women we want to see in our community. As teachers, educators, and employees of this district, we all serve and stand for something greater than ourselves. If you know me, then you know that I live and breathe music in my car, at my house, and definitely in my classroom. There's a quote from a song that really resonates with me and changed my outlook on my profession. It goes, I was raised up believing that I was somehow unique, like a snowflake, distinct among other snowflakes, unique in each way. But then, after some thinking, I say I'd rather be a functioning cog in some great machinery, serving something beyond me. From this, I now firmly believe that my greatest accomplishments will be the accomplishments of others. I'm here to serve, to inspire, and do whatever it takes to see the children of this community grow, rise, and lead. You are all my hope. You are all my colleagues. You are my equals. We are here tonight because in some form, shape, or fashion, we all know this to be true. The title of Teacher of the Year is just that, a title. The responsibility of it only sinks in a little while later. Some of you, I'm joking myself, all of you, agonized over the papers, the videos, and the interviews that went along with the title, but I tell you that within those tasks lie the secret of being great: reflection. Leave tonight with a full belly. Leave tonight happy to be amongst your peers. And most importantly, leave tonight knowing that you are the greatest thing to ever happen to this community. We are educators. We don't quit, and we must never give up on any child. Congratulations, and God bless Putnam County.
Good evening. We will now begin our presentations for School-Related Employee of the Year. As your name is called, please circle to the right of the room and come across the front. As you go back to your table, please try to stay behind the camera. Tonight, our awards will be presented by Phyllis Criswell, Superintendent of Schools, and Kevin Curry, Vice President, Georgia Pacific of Palaca Operations. Our first nominee began his career when his daughter was in kindergarten and his son was in the 3rd grade as a volunteer. He later became an instructional assistant, and now, 18 years later, he is the head custodian at Browning Pierce Elementary. Mr. Richard Austin stays busy from the moment he arrives until he leaves. Even after he leaves, it's no surprise to see him back at the campus checking locks and gates or searching for lost dogs. Our students call him Bob the Builder, which makes him a celebrity on campus. It is a privilege for those students he calls upon to ring the big school bell each morning. In our kindergarten classes, he is also known as Johnny Appleseed. The Browning Pierce Bears would be lost without him. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Austin. Our next nominee has been the bookkeeper at Crescent City Junior Senior High School for only 1 year. Michele Grimes is best described as Wonder Woman, which was her character during homecoming week. She lives up to that persona at our school, where she is a true hero. She is not only the bookkeeper, but also a JV softball coach and a host parent to one of our foreign exchange students from Switzerland. Michele works tirelessly to see that everyone at our school has the materials they need to perform their job. Additionally, she is a perfectionist and does not give up until the task is done, even if it means late nights and weekends. Michele is also a cheerleader for many of our students, giving them praise on their good report card, congratulating them on a job well done, and many times she can be seen cheering them on at our various sporting events. We are happy to have such an asset working at Crescent City Junior Senior High School. Ladies and gentlemen, Michele Grimes. Our next nominee was hired last year at E.H. Miller School as a one-on-one aide for a child with severe autism. Mr. Morian Black's gentle but firm demeanor was responsible for the transformation of this young man. A student that no one could come near without being bitten, hit, or kicked will now smile and shake an adult's hand. Thanks to Mr. Black, this student has even earned Terrific Kid and has made great gains in his social skills. Mr. Black accomplished the change by diligent, gentle but consistent reinforcement. This student learned very quickly that Mr. Mo, as he is called, cared about him. Mr. Black has a profound influence on the whole class as well. He works in a grade 6 through 12 classroom for students with autism. His students are on the extreme end of the spectrum, are predominantly nonverbal, and challenged with light and sound sensitivity. Mr. Black assists students with all of the personal care needs such as feeding, toileting, and other self-care skills. His presence in this classroom has been transformational for each student. Discipline problems have all but disappeared. He is a natural, using his innate instincts to mold and shape behaviors. Ladies and gentlemen, Maureen Black. Our next nominee was selected for her commitment to our students at Interlochen Elementary School. Star Island works hard to build relationships with students and encourages them to work to the very best of their ability. She strives to make a difference with her students academically and often spends her own money on classroom rewards for students meeting goals. In a school as large as Interlochen Elementary, it is important that our staff be flexible. While she has only been at our school for 1 year, Star pitches in whenever and wherever needed with a smile on her face. A star is defined as an object in the sky that sends its own light, and that is exactly what our star personifies. Her light shines through in her work every day. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Island. Our next nominee has been employed for our district for 8 years, and the last 3 of those at Interlochen High School. Deborah Cheo is the smiling face that greets students, parents, and our staff each morning as they arrive at Interlochen High. She goes above and beyond the duties in her clerk typist job description. She is always inquiring as to what she can do to assist any person in any way. Mrs. Cheo can be described as the Energizer Bunny of Interlochen High. She is always busy, making sure that the smallest of details are covered. Debbie gives countless hours of her time coaching our Interlochen cheerleaders. She has made an enormous difference in the school spirit of our students and staff. She puts the pep in our pep rallies. Ladies and gentlemen, Deborah Cheo. Our next nominee has only been at James A. Long Elementary for 8 short months, but that is plenty of time for her caring and sweet spirit to shine bright for all to notice. Although Darla Garcia continues to learn the job of executive secretary herself, she often has other new secretaries seek her out for training in different areas of the job. They know they can call on her, and she is willing to offer assistance. In her short time at James A. Long, she has managed to take on responsibilities above and beyond her actual job description. Her compassion for others and her willingness to go the extra mile with a smile, even when there doesn't appear to be a reason to smile, has made a tremendous impression on the faculty, parents, and students of James A. Long Elementary. Ladies and gentlemen, Darla Garcia. Our next nominee has served in the position of head custodian at Jenkins Middle School for the last 6 years. Mike Taylor is very passionate about making sure that Jenkins is clean for our students each morning and presentable to our faculty, staff, and parents. Our hallway floors are buffed on a regular basis by Mike, sometimes even on the weekends. We have a staff of 4 other custodians that Mike supervises in addition to his own duties. One of Mike's duties is directing traffic in the afternoon so our students can walk home safely. He also grades our students during lunch with a thumbs up or a thumbs down to indicate if they have cleaned their tables adequately. Students earn privileges each week if they prove themselves to Mike. Our students take pride in the cleanliness of our campus because Mike sets the example. Ladies and gentlemen, George Michael Taylor. Our next nominee has over 30 years of experience in our district as an instructional assistant and data clerk. Maudie Valenti is a dedicated employee who is also highly skilled in many areas, especially Skyward. When it comes to class schedules, FTE counts, and student records, she is one of the best. Maudie also enjoys working with children. She is passionate and wants the best for all of our young sharks at Kelly Smith Elementary. Each morning, Maudie greets our students in the office with a smile. Her motherly instincts come out easily, and our students love her support. Ladies and gentlemen, Maudie Valenti. The ability to multitask is not something everyone can do. Mellon Elementary Support Person of the Year, Cindy Tillis, is not only able to multitask, she does it well. When students, parents, and visitors enter Mellon, Miss Cindy is their first point of contact. She greets everyone with a smile and a welcoming demeanor and a calmness that keeps our front office running smoothly and efficiently. Regardless of whether it is a student who has arrived late, a student needing medication, or a parent needing information, Miss Cindy handles each with a friendly and organized manner that can only be accomplished by someone who is dedicated to their job and committed to doing their very best every day. Ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Tillis. Our next nominee began her career in Putnam County Schools 16 years ago as a cafeteria worker. 10 years ago, Stephanie Atkins stepped into the role of instructional assistant at Melrose Elementary. Although Stephanie spends most of her time working with our ESE students in a self-contained ESE class, you can also see her helping kindergarten students in the cafeteria during breakfast and lunch, watching students on the recess field, or taking over a class for a teacher that had to suddenly leave. Stephanie gives 100% to all of the roles she plays each day. She is positive, patient, and always has a kind word to say to brighten someone's day. While she excels in all of her jobs, she is at her best when she works with our ESE students. She is able to connect with all of her students in a maternal and caring way that is usually only seen on a Lifetime Movie of the Week. All of the Melrose Mustangs benefit from her genuine concern. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie Atkins. Our next nominee has been an employee of Middleton Burney Elementary School for the last 15 years. Melissa Williams goes above and beyond the call of duty each day. She is not an employee who sees school as a place to work. She owns the school and takes great pride in her work with all of our students. She oversees the third grade students every morning in the media center before their teachers pick them up for class. She visits different classrooms before lunch to give fluency tests and track different interventions for MTSS, our multi-tiered system of supports. After cafeteria duty at lunch, Melissa pulls small groups of third grade students for tutoring. At the end of the day, she helps supervise our bus riders in the cafeteria until the bus arrives. To top it all off, a wrench is frequently thrown into her day when she is asked to cover a class, yet Melissa still manages to get all of her responsibilities completed with that humble smile. Ladies and gentlemen, Melissa Williams. Our next nominee has worked at Miller Intermediate School for the past 10 years. Although Mr. Lloyd Nichols has the distinct title of custodian, he is much more than that. His first priority is to ensure that our campus is spick and span. He takes pride in his school being clean and a safe learning environment for our students and teachers. It is without hesitation that Mr. Nichols answers every call respectfully and with a smile, no matter how small or how huge the undertaking may be. He is a man of integrity. Mr. Nichols is a team player. He steps up to the plate and continues to make things happen when one of his fellow colleagues is out. When there is a special event, such as parent night or a community event, he ensures that the building is presentable and that it is secure afterwards. It is difficult to capture the true essence of this man in such a limited amount of time. Ladies and gentlemen, Lloyd Nichols. Our next nominee has truly embraced the concept of citizenship and community at Mosley Elementary. Throughout her workday, Michele Straddling can be found around children, encouraging, guiding, and inspiring them to dream big and shine bright. She is a true leader. She impacts students all day in her computer lab where she manages the iReady program and works with students to improve their skills in both reading and mathematics. Additionally, she volunteers countless hours on her own time, coordinating multiple fundraising efforts at Mosley. Ask any of our Mosley students and families about Mrs. Straddling, and they will tell you about our snack wagon and the very popular pickled eggs she provides from her own chickens. Amazing creations she makes from Capri Sun pouches and her ongoing box top competitions. Mosley would not be the same without her because she exemplifies everything a positive school and community requires. Ladies and gentlemen, Michele Straddling. Our next nominee is a mother of 3 herself, yet she is the mother to many children from 8 o'clock until 4:30 in the afternoon at Aquilla Elementary. Cheryl Brunke is an instructional assistant who tutors students in reading and math. She works very closely with all of our teachers. Her duties include running copies, preparing materials, assisting with many extracurricular activities, lunch duty, and morning breakfast duty. One thing everyone has noticed about Cheryl is that if things are caught up, she will immediately look for and find out what else needs to be done. She is very flexible and always willing to lend a helping hand. Cheryl takes her job performance very seriously and desires to make a difference in our students at Aquilla. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheryl Brunke. Regardless of the task that he is asked to do, from cleaning restrooms to putting together chairs and even installing interactive smart boards, our next nominee, Mr. Irate Elbay, always says yes, with a smile on his face. Mr. Moe, as he is called, is one of the C.L. Overturf 6th grade center's hardest workers. He is the epitome of what a strong ethic works like. He is always on task, never late, and never leaves early. Without question or complaint, he very willingly will come back to the school after hours to set the alarm and secure the building after many school and community functions at CeeLo. Mr. Moe has been praised for not only keeping our classrooms clean, but also for his willingness to take a moment to talk to and listen to our teachers. He is a faithful member of the CeeLo family. Ladies and gentlemen, Irate Elbay. Our next nominee, Willie Joe King, has been the head custodian at Palatka High School for many years and has helped shape the course of our school's history with his dedication and hard work. Over the years, Mr. King has seen changes at our school. Teachers have come and gone. Principals have retired or moved on. Students have grown and gone. However, through all of these changes, one constant has remained. That constant is Willie Joe King and his obvious love for Palatka High and the buildings entrusted to his care year after year. His commitment to excellence for his school allows teaching and learning to occur and is part of the foundation upon which Palatka High School's success rests. Regardless of the job, Mr. King is here working happily for our school. Simply put, Mr. King is the glue that holds Palatka High School together. Ladies and gentlemen, Willie Joe King. Our next nominee personifies dedication, dependability, and that Price Middle School pride. Mr. Artis Allen is the first one here in the morning and is always ready for work. The Price teachers depend upon him heavily, and they know that no matter what their needs are, he is always just a radio call away. Whether the call be to move furniture, clean up a spill, unclog an overflowing toilet, Mr. Allen is always there. He is professional, knowledgeable, understanding, and his performance is always top quality regardless of the workload. For more than 9 years, Mr. Allen has been much more than the title of custodian. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Artis Allen. At Putnam Academy, the faculty depends on Nancy McClellan to keep them straight. She can either answer questions or find someone who can. She will not give up until she finds the correct way of doing something or the correct answer. Nancy may have the title of executive secretary, but she does much more. She is called upon to bandage scrapes, dry tears. She helps students with work and reads a test to someone who may need it. Some of our students stop by the office just to say hi. She helps with morale. She brings food and desserts for the staff, including birthday cakes. She decorates the office with her colleagues' help. She is always trying to make our school look better. Everyone knows Nancy will listen to any problem or complaint. She helps as needed or encourages us to keep going. She does not put up with pity parties. She gives her all to make sure the staff and students of Putnam Academy are the best they can be. Ladies and gentlemen, Nancy McClellan. Our next nominee is described as a hard worker, honest, diligent, and committed to his job. Not only is Joseph Wright committed to his job at QI Roberts Jr. Senior High School, but his entire family is committed to Putnam County Schools. His wife is employed by the district, and his children attend our schools as well. Joseph handles each custodial task assigned to him with maturity, professionalism, and a great attitude. Because of his dedication and dependability, things are done right at QI Roberts Jr. Senior High School. Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Wright. There is no task too large or too small for our next nominee. If she tells you she will do something, she always follows through. Eileen Langston began her career with Putnam County Schools 13 years ago at Interlochen High School. She has held multiple positions in critical roles as each administrator she worked for saw her abilities and dependability. Currently, she serves as the Executive Secretary of Media Information Services and is representing the entire Campbell administration building here tonight. Eileen has an impeccable ability to relate to every person, making them feel important and valued. It is more than obvious that her main focus is to help children succeed. Over the years, she has contributed to many efforts which help students remain in school and excel academically. She continues to do so today as a volunteer for many after-school events. Although she does not have the day-to-day contact with students, she is committed to ensuring that all of our teachers and students have access to the technology-related programs that move today's curriculum forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Eileen Langston. Our next nominee has spent the last 16 years in our maintenance department. Gregory Brown started working as a general worker and later moved into the cabinet shop as a cabinet maker. More recently, he obtained the classification as carpenter, but he still offers his assistance with small mechanical maintenance on the district's lawnmowers and custodial equipment. Mr. Brown has a constant desire to bring friendship and kindness to anyone he comes in contact with. He seems to not only bring out the best in himself, but in others too, whether they are old friends or complete strangers. He has a desire to invest the best of his capabilities through daily goals and challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, Gregory Brown. Our first nominee from the Transportation Department tonight is Talisa Ledbetter from the Palatka compound. Talisa began her career 17 years ago as a bus attendant working with special needs students. Today, she is the data clerk, keeping track of student and driver data, assisting with radio communications, and answering the phone. She also reviews bus rosters to make sure all students have been entered into Skyward so that the district can receive funds for transporting these students to and from school. Among many other duties, Talisa contacts the school or the parents if there is no one at a bus stop to meet a child in the afternoon. She also helps organize those famous holiday dinners at the bus compound. Ladies and gentlemen, Talisa Ledbetter. Our second nominee from the Transportation Department has worked for our district for 22 years. Jessica Brown Warren from the Crescent City compound has served as an in-school safety instructor, as well as serving on the hospitality and safety committees, all in addition to her regular bus route, shuttle route, activity runs, and field trips. Jessica is always willing to help other employees with student reports, timesheets, bus washes, and anything that might make their job easier. She encourages her fellow employees and shares her passion and love for her job and the children we transport each day. Ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Brown Warren. Our final nominee for school-related employee tonight has been employed by our district since the year 2000 at the Interlochen bus compound. Robyn Nicole Green started as a bus attendant where she was responsible for the safety of special needs students and assisting the driver with any disciplinary issues while on the bus. She now drives a 65-passenger school bus. Every day is a challenge, both mentally and physically, dealing with student needs, adverse weather conditions, and everyday traffic situations, which in all is a great responsibility. Nicole is punctual, rarely misses work, has had no bus accidents, and is very neat and organized. She is willing to help others both on and off the job. With five school-age children of her own, she manages to juggle her time and work while still volunteering at the schools her children attend. Ladies and gentlemen, Robyn Nicole Green. We will now present our awards for Teacher of the Year. Our first nominee for Teacher of the Year has been teaching kindergarten at Browning Pierce Elementary School for 9 years. While her career started in adult ed and migrant services, Dena Doddle is a natural with 5-year-olds. Dena is respected and praised by her grade level team members and peers. She is creative and engaging with her class, and they are learning from the minute they get in there until they leave in the afternoon. She arrives early and stays late every day to make sure each lesson, center, and activity is a hit with her students. She can sing, she can be silly, she can play, all while expecting each and every student to be fully prepared for first grade, knowing all of their numbers, letters, sounds, writing their names, addresses, and phone numbers. Dena goes above and beyond for all of her little bears to be sure their needs are met inside and outside the classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, Dena Doddle. Our next nominee exemplifies what is meant by the term teacher. The love and respect she receives from her students and faculty members is overwhelming. It is nice to walk through her classroom at Crescent City Junior Senior High and watch the students as they are engaged in lessons. Emily Rigdon challenges them to succeed their expectations they face daily, whether it is in their schoolwork or at home. In Mrs. Rigdon's classroom, there is never downtime. Her students are taught bell to bell. For her teaching assistant class, she has arranged for her students to work with teachers at Middleton Birney Elementary School, where they receive additional preparation for their industry certification exam. If you ask a past graduate of Crescent City High what they remember most about their high school years, Mrs. Rigdon is the first person that comes to their mind. Mrs. Rigdon is always ready to share her talents, teach an additional class, be a club sponsor, or provide food for different events. She is our belle of Crescent City. Ladies and gentlemen, Emily Rigdon. Our next nominee is a new teacher working to master instructional strategies, but already he has a way of reaching his troubled, struggling students with simple yet profound instincts and empathy. Some traits for teachers seem to be born, and Mr. Brian Godfrey seems born to be a mentor and a teacher. He was assigned to an unruly EBD middle school class at E.H. Miller School, which he has turned around. It is amazing to watch him transform students who can be violent and disrespectful. He has instilled in them a sense of respect, acceptance, and community. Mr. Godfrey does not work to or serve for awards or accolades, but simply to inspire and impact all those he comes in contact with each day. He has mastered the elusive art of being firm but fair, having rules yet maintaining relationships, and keenly remembering that even though he touches numerous content areas and grade levels, he is really teaching children. Mr. Godfrey teaches his students to strive for success and to respect each other. He inspires all of his peers to wear a smile, share a laugh, to have faith, and to remember that the storms of life can often produce beautiful rainbows. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Godfrey. If you walk into the classroom of our next nominee at Interlochen Elementary, be prepared for an engaging experience. In Suzanne Beck's classroom, the students are wearing theme-related hats and conducting experiments that result in exciting conclusions such as bubble explosions. Writing samples from her class are especially interesting because sometimes students are given the opportunity to smell and taste what they are describing. One time, the class was studying the law of gravity and how things move by chunking pumpkins. A blueberry patch, greenhouse, and butterfly garden will be added to our school due to Mrs. Beck's grant-seeking talents. She is especially good at designing hands-on opportunities to teach first-grade students standards through real-world experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, Suzanne Beck. Our next nominee began her teaching career at Interlochen High School 5 years ago as a 10th grade English teacher, yet she quickly became more. Patricia McCoy quickly began showing true leadership skills in her effort to not only improve her classroom performance, but also the lives of her many students. Mrs. McCoy always made it a point to have food, clothes, and extra school supplies on hand for students who forgot them at home or were in need. She always had a sympathetic ear and willingness to put in the extra effort after school hours to tutor and mentor students. When it is said, No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. They were really talking about Mrs. McCoy. Today, she is the curriculum resource teacher at Interlochen High School, where she continues to work for the good of all students and teachers. She continues to be the sponsor for student government, homecoming, and moderator for the High Q team. Ladies and gentlemen, Patricia McCoy. Our next nominee is a magical part of James A. Long Elementary. Ginny Carlson began wowing our students when she worked with the University of Florida Agriculture Extension Agency. Every student and teacher loved Miss Ginny and looked forward to her exciting lessons when she would visit. James A. Long was later fortunate to have Miss Ginny join our staff full-time as a science lab teacher and most recently a 5th grade teacher. Her experience in working with the Jacksonville Zoo Children's Department and her higher degree in educational technology enhances her natural teaching ability. She incorporates classroom pets, a variety of web-based programs, and a superior content knowledge into each of her daily lessons. Ladies and gentlemen, Ginny Carlson. At Jenkins Middle School, our next nominee is our right hand as she goes beyond the duties of a typical media specialist. Before she began her teaching career, Deborah Gastelum served in the U.S. Air Force as a computer information systems analyst. In her 24-year career here, she has taught middle school math, language arts, reading, gifted, and journalism. In her current position, she has provided many opportunities for students to develop a love of reading and to become strong, successful leaders. Deborah has guided our students, mentoring those in need, teaching reading and computer skills, and even tutoring when students need extra help in their academic subjects. She has created, coordinated, and was awarded a $35,000 grant for Jenkins Middle School's recent summer reading project. She has designed the curriculum for our research class and provided direction for their success by providing the class syllabus, daily lesson plans, and friendly competitions to motivate our students and teachers. Deborah is a strong believer in setting and achieving goals and celebrating success. Ladies and gentlemen, Deborah Gastelum. Our next nominee has been teaching for 4 years and has a passion for children, which is not only evident in her teaching, but also evident in the time she spends outside of school for the well-being of all the children at Kelly Smith Elementary. Ashley Sherwood is very much a team player and helps to create and sustain a positive attitude and a positive school climate for the faculty, staff, and students, and the parents of our school. Ashley is an outstanding teacher, as observed from her peers and as well as the administration of our school. Her students are always engaged in their work and are always working together in cooperative groups. Her classroom is truly one big family. Ashley's drive and determination to get the best out of herself rubs off on her students as they are motivated to do their very best for themselves, their classmates, and as well for their teacher. She also takes the time to meet with her individual students to analyze their own data, review their individual goals, and create new ones. The energy level from her and her students radiates outside her classroom and permeates into other classrooms at the school. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashley Sherwood. Our next nominee is an overcomer, a problem solver, an innovator, and a dynamic member of the 3rd grade team at Mellon Elementary. Megan Garreau's enthusiasm, love, passion for teaching, and her students have made her a standout among her fellow teachers. Megan does not work to receive awards, but she is driven by her desire to have a positive impact on each student in her class every day. She has worked hard to master the art of being firm but fair, having rules yet maintaining relationships, and being ever mindful that while her day is filled with non-negotiables, pacing guides, and lesson plans, she is really all about the children. She offers love, acceptance, and grace to each of her students in combination with all of the rigors of the 3rd grade Sunshine State Standards. Ladies and gentlemen, Megan Garreau. Our next nominee is not only a special teacher, but a special person. Wendy Wood is one of those unique individuals that people are naturally drawn to because of her quiet, calm, and sincere nature. She is genuinely selfless in her interactions, and her door is always open for sharing ideas and helping others. Her colleagues at Melrose Elementary say her positive attitude is infectious, and she has a knack for finding the silver lining in any situation. If you had to sum Wendy up with one word, it would be compassionate. With all of the increasing demands placed upon teachers, she has the ability to maintain her focus on what is most important, the students in her classroom. She is humble yet driven to excel. She celebrates each student for who they are, and her students know that no matter what is happening in their lives, that Mrs. Wood will always remain a steady source of love and support. Ladies and gentlemen, Wendy Wood. Our next nominee has been a mighty bee at Middleton Burney Elementary for only a short time, but she has been a teacher in our district for 11 years. Lacey Hawk is a key component to the continued student improvement in reading and math at Middleton Burney. Her energy and upbeat personality help maintain a positive educational environment. As our curriculum resource teacher, Lacey mentors new teachers, helps all teachers plan to differentiate their instruction based on their students' formative data. She uses this data to create intervention groups for each grade level. She does an excellent job helping teachers design their classroom environment to meet student needs. As the academic school-based team leader for MTSS, our multi-tiered system of support, Lacey helps teachers interpret their school data, their student data, identify students that may need extra help, and determine the appropriate intervention for the struggling student. Lacey organizes tutoring groups for our instructional assistants to work with daily, and procures the necessary materials for each targeted group. She has also implemented a variety of incentives and reward systems for our students. Ladies and gentlemen, Lacey Hawk. Our next nominee began her teaching career 3 short years ago, but is already known as an overcomer, a problem solver, and an innovator and a dynamic member of the 6th grade team at Miller Intermediate School. Her dedication, enthusiasm, love, and passion for teaching have hardly a rival on our staff. Vicki Ford does not work for awards, but simply to inspire and impact those she comes in contact with each day. Vicki has mastered that elusive art of being firm but fair, having rules yet maintaining relationships, and keenly remembering that she is really teaching our future. While remaining current with the latest instructional strategies and technologies, Vicki is still able to reach out and touch her struggling students with simple, yet profound motherly instincts and empathy coupled with professionalism. Likewise, she is a whiz at developing activities and assignments that accelerate and challenge her brighter students. Vicki has a calling on life, and that calling is teaching, which she exquisitely balances with her most important role as a wife and mother. She teaches her students to strive for excellence, to love learning, especially math, and most of all, to respect each other and embrace our differences. Ladies and gentlemen, Vicki Ford. Our next nominee has worked in our district for 7 years, but has been the guidance counselor at Mosley Elementary for the last 3. Nicole Owens has devoted herself to our students and staff as an advocate, protector, learner, and friend. There is a tangible connection to every student she works with. Students trust her because she makes Mosley a safe haven for them. They truly know beyond a shadow of doubt that she will be there for them. Her legacy will no doubt outlast her career. She champions the cause of educating our students by partnering with staff and parents to make sure students are attending school and have what they need to excel. Nicole coordinated the MTSS, our multi-tiered system of support, through Mosley, with care and fidelity. And through this, she has impacted the educational success of hundreds of students. With every guidance lesson, intervention, warm hug, and approving nod, she fills students' lives with the hope to make it through another day. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicole Owens. Our next nominee teaches math to every 5th grade student at Aquilla Elementary. In 4 short years, the contributions of Ann Mathis have been many. Her teaching skills are finely tuned to dig into standards and design wonderful instruction for every student. She is incredibly dedicated to serving our students. Besides the numbers and mechanics of teaching, Marion excels in the heart of the profession. She inspires students with her care and love. She guides them through frank reflections of her own learning process to be honest with themselves, admitting their errors because she has created a safe place for mistakes and learning to take place. Marion's classroom is a place where there is never failure, only success or learning takes place there. She is connected to the children through love that can only be understood, seeing her in late afternoons, her knitted brow of worry when a student does not grasp the concept, and her relentless effort to ensure that every student is cared for and taught as if they are her own. Ladies and gentlemen, Marion Mathis. Our next nominee is one of the Reading and Language Arts teachers at the C.L. Overturf 6th Grade Center. She has been instrumental in helping all of our teachers transition to the new Florida standards, as well as our New Journeys reading curriculum. Nichole Carver is a positive team member and often displays leadership within the team when discussing instructional needs of our students. Nichole is one of the most structured teachers we have, yet at the same time she has a huge heart with a true knack for building positive rapport with her students. She is also our student council advisor, and she, along with her club, helped organize a very successful Breast Cancer Awareness Week in which over $1,300 was raised for our local cancer patients. Nichole is extremely dedicated to our school, and it is not uncommon to see her car still in the parking lot well past the contracted hours. Ladies and gentlemen, Nichole Carver. Our next nominee was an engineer before he became a teacher at Palatka High in order to make a difference for children in our community. Mr. Jeremy Passmore is new to our profession, but he is a natural teacher. He is extremely knowledgeable, not only in his subject matter, but also of strategies to engage high school students. He uses current best teaching practices to ensure the growth of every student in his class and embodies organizational skills, creative talent, and a zest for learning that enable him to be one of the best at Palatka High. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Passmore. Singing catchy math tunes is just one of the strategies our next nominee uses to help her students remember math. When you walk into her classroom at C.H. Price Middle School, you are greeted with words of kindness and positive quotes painted on her walls. You could not help but smile when you walk into the classroom of Mrs. Eleanor Mcgill. Teaching math comes naturally to Mrs. Mcgill, but she is willing to try whatever it takes to make sure her students have mastered the standards. There is never a time when she is not up and around her room. Excepting for her tonight is... Let me finish Mrs. Mcgill's introduction. There is never a time when she is not up and around her room, checking the work that the students are doing and asking questions to push them further. Mrs. Mcgill has one of the most positive outlooks ever had by a teacher. Even when the students are struggling, she just says, let's try something different. In the last 2 years, her diligence has paid off, and 99% of her Algebra 1 students have passed the Algebra 1 end-of-course exam. Not only does Mrs. Gill go above and beyond in the classroom, she helps Price Middle School out in many ways. She tutors students, referees ball games, is a team leader, and a member of many committees at Price. Her kindness and compassion is not only apparent to her students, but to her co-workers as well. Mrs. Mcgill was unable to be with us tonight. Accepting for her is the assistant principal, Mr. Ted Hangel. Our next nominee is described as the Energizer Bunny. She is always busy doing things for her school and her students. Sharon Merwin teaches math and intensive reading at Putnam Academy. She also serves as an ESE consultant. Sharon not only teaches her own classes, but goes into other classrooms to help with ESE students. She tutors students after school. Her students love and work hard for her. Our students have shown excellent gains in her class, several of them achieving 2 or 3 grade levels in 1 year. Sharon also works with our faculty to help teachers understand IEPs and 504s. She gives them strategies to use with students both in teaching content and behavior. She gives the FAIR test and other tests, and then explains the data to our faculty at our Monday meetings. We recently lost our cheerleading sponsor, so Sharon stepped up with another teacher to fill that void as well. She has also developed a cheerleader study group. She is willing to do whatever needs to be done without complaining. Ladies and gentlemen, Sharon Merwin. Evidence of our next nominee's contributions can be seen daily at QI Roberts Junior-Senior High School. Kristen Hudson is well respected by her peers. Kristen has taken on multiple tasks in support of our school. She is knowledgeable in many areas, from the athletic field, to the classroom, to the administrative office. She is a leader, mentor, and role model for our students and staff. She goes above to hold students accountable for their learning and preparing innovative and highly effective lessons. Kristen has done an outstanding job of communicating the rigor of the Cambridge program and has helped all of the teachers at QI Roberts set those same standards for their students. Her students excel as she works to help them rise to these new standards and assimilate the rigor of the expectations in the Cambridge program. Ladies and gentlemen, our final nominee for Teacher of the Year tonight, Kristen Hudson.
Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for, the Putnam County School-Related Employee of the Year from Interlochen High School, Ms. Deborah Chao. Congratulations, Ms. Deborah Chao. And now it is time to announce our 2016 Teacher of the Year for Putnam County. Our winner is from Interlochen Elementary, Ms. Suzanne Beck. Congratulations, Ms. Beck. Congratulations to both of our nominees. Your commitment to our district, your devotion to our students is greatly appreciated. Please remember that you will live forever in the hearts and memories of your students. To our event sponsors, Georgia Pacific and Bates & Hewitt Insurance, we again thank you for your generosity and continued support. I would like to give a special thank you to my staff services team for their hard work and special efforts that have made this evening so special. To the Musselwhite Seafood staff, we thank you for a delicious dinner. And finally, to our guests, we thank you for joining us in recognizing these outstanding employees. We hope you have a wonderful evening. Please drive safely, and good night.